Welcome to Ask Auntee Nella. Tonight I'm excited. I'm excited because I got my first Dear Auntee Nella letter. I'm so excited, I don't know what to do. In the topic today, we're going to talk about blending families. That's what the Dear Auntee letter is all about. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube. It's Ask Space Auntee Space Nella, and subscribe. I have all my videos. I was able to download all my videos on there, so I have all the videos up to date. This one tonight, I'll download it tonight on there. So go and subscribe. Send your friends to subscribe. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everything you guys are sending, my way. I have a ton of material, and so I'm gonna take each week to try and touch some of those topics. Tonight with After Dark, I'm gonna do a 2-for-1. With After Dark, it's gonna be low sex drive and toys are not. I have my t-shirts still available. I still have some available to purchase. Please support. I have a Cash App. It's $Trinella with lowercase letters. I also have a PayPal, and all that's linked under the t-shirts as well. I'm going to be having 2 more t-shirts that's coming out here pretty soon. I also have the t-shirts that we have out now in black. So you can purchase it in black, and the Meow Cat will be white. So, everything else will be the same. You still have the rhinestones and all that good stuff on there, and that glitter. So, support. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
Don't forget to add friends. And ask questions tonight. I am ready and amped to go. I hope you guys are as well.
So we're gonna wait just a couple of minutes, and before we get, I'm just gonna give my little and we're waiting. Hey, share, let people know that she's on right now.
Yes.
So we can go ahead and get into the topics, and and sometimes I'll say this every time on the video when we start. When you see me looking down, guys, I'm actually reading the questions that people are sending in, and so she can ask those questions during the post when we have time. Correct. So if you see me looking at my phone, it's for me to make sure that your questions are being answered, and I will ask those questions either as it is coming from myself or in a third party sense, because some people want to be private when they're sending in questions or comments. So we're gonna give it about 2 more minutes.
And if you don't want to share your stuff and you want to send it to me, inbox me, you're welcome to inbox me. I promise you I will keep it anonymous. Just make sure you're telling me, hey, I'm sending you this. I want to remain anonymous, and I will make sure you are anonymous. But go ahead and invite friends. Let people know Auntee Nella is live and ready to answer some questions, baby.
We're gonna some shout outs for about a minute.
All right.
Hey, Renelle.
Hey, Renelle.
Once you come on, say hey to us so we can shout you out. Yes. Come on. Let's see who else joined. I don't see people saying hey. Let's get some haze. Let's get some haze in here. Hey, Larnisha.
Hey, Larno.
Hey, Peppa. Come on as we come on. So we're going to go ahead and get started, because we love to respect people's time, because she likes to get into the after dark session on the topics that she has to talk about. So tonight she was talking about the Ask Auntee Nella letter, and I'm going to read that letter so she can go ahead and ask some of the questions that we have out here. So I have the Dear Auntee Nella. I'm loving the show. I caught it a few times, and you always are right on the spot. So here's my Dear Auntee Nella letter. I'm in a relationship with my fiance, and his ex-wife lives less than 10 miles away. I have 2 step kids, and I'm struggling with blending our families. We parent so differently, and I'm not feeling the co-parent setup either way. He always has to drop the kids off and pick them up from her house. We have our differences over what I need to know and when I need to know it. I feel like I need to know everything.
Absolutely.
When you go over there, when you talk to her, when you visit her, what you guys' plans, I need to know.
Yep.
I think not sharing is his way of being sneaky. He said it isn't, and it's just parenting, and it's not about him being sneaky. that he doesn't remember right away at the moment to tell me or to inform me. I said, he's plain stupid. She will call and say one of the kids left something at the house and come by pretty much when she wants, as long as it's for the kids. So she has open access to our home as long as it's for the kids. This is a major sore spot for us, and I've halted our wedding plans. Honestly, I can't wait until his kids go off to college. I don't want to come off as being, you know, that jealous woman, or make it seem as if I don't want her around at all. But there needs to be some transparencies and boundaries. Am I asking for too much?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not. You are not asking for too much. In order for your marriage to become great, there's some boundaries that need to be set up front. And having that conversation with him and having him set those boundaries is important right now. Because when I read your letter and I'm listening to this letter, what that's telling me is that's setting you up to have a lot of insecurities. And insecurities mean I'm worried if there's truth behind you coming or she coming because you going to her because she left something, or, you know, something's truly wrong with the kids. My problem with that is sometimes what happens with women who have kids with their exes and their ex move on, they're trying to show I still have control over him.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like to me, and this is me, I could be off a little bit, but this is me. It sounds like she's trying to show you she still has control over your fiance.
Oh, wow.
And in order to fix that, you can't do anything about it. He has to fix it. He has to set his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or ex-baby mama straight. Because let me tell you something. The kids will always be in his life. She will come and go. But if he don't set boundaries, he's setting your relationship and your soon-to-be or hopefully marriage up for failure. It's no way he's forgotten that she's called him. It's no way that he forgotten that both her and him talked about the fact that he was going to go and pick up the kids, or she was going to go and drop off the kids. If he's not willing to include you in it, there's a lot of sneakiness going on.
Wow.
So he's benefiting from both ends. And what I mean from both ends is from what she may be giving or getting, as well as what you're giving or getting. So I would say you got to have a deep conversation and lay it out on the table. Don't cut any corners. Be as honest as you can be. It's important at this point in your relationship to be honest. You're a fiance. You're not wife just yet.
Okay.
So you can lay your boundaries down and say, look, this is what I'm going to take and this is what I'm not going to take. And here's why. You have to lay it out on the table and be 100% honest.
So I'm going to play the devil's advocate, as I always do, being that person looking from at another angle to get so people can have a clearer picture.
Correct.
So what if I'm the baby mama, not the fiance?
Yep.
And we have set, me and my kid's father have set some rules and feel like it's better to keep those rules in place and not inform the fiance.
Absolutely not. You cannot, and listen to me well, you cannot move forward in a relationship with somebody else if you're trying to blend families. Because what's happening is you're leaving your fiance out, but you and your baby mama have a mutual respect. Where's her respect? Where's her dignity? You're putting the baby mama up on a pedestal, but you're leaving your current fiance out in the cold. Baby, that's not gonna work.
But what if the fiance is crazy and she just, you know, when she see me, she do a little messy stuff, so do a little putt shot. So I'm just like, you know what? Instead of me dealing with all that, here's, you know, if it's about the kids, the father is like, if it's about my kids, call me because I want to be in the kid's life. But then the fiance is doing little things to tear that relationship that he built with his kids apart.
Can I tell you something? At the end of the day, if a man is a man and a man wants his current relationship to move forward and have a strong foundation, he's going to force that to happen. He has control over both situations. He can state to his baby mama, look, it's important that I share these things with my fiance, because if I don't, then I'm setting my situation up for failure. It sounds like to me, and this is just me, it sounds like to me he ain't done with baby mama. Baby mama is using him as a little pawn to set you up for insecurities. So what I'm going to say is, have a conversation with him. If he's not willing to change, you need to rethink some things. Because if he loves you wholeheartedly, then he's going to think twice. There's no such thing as I'm coming to you and saying, look, this situation makes me feel really weird. So here's why. And you're not willing to change it or set some things. There should never be any secrets, because what happens with secrets is you give this baby mama control to destroy your life. Because one thing I will tell you is, if you give one person that you're not dating currently, and the person that you're dating currently more access to you than your current fiance, baby, you setting yourself up for something to happen major. And when it happens, then you have no recourse for the fiance to say, no, I know that's not true. All the fiance can go with what the baby mama is saying, because you've left her out. So you set yourself up to be set up by baby mama if baby mama want to set you up.
So what if the guy is saying, I'd rather deal with my baby mama separate than my fiance because it causes too much trouble when they're together? Maybe there was some history where he tried to blend them, and so now he's saying, look, I'll deal with my baby mama, and I'm going to deal with you because it's too much in the middle when I try to blend
He had to fix it, though. Here's the thing. You can't move on in a marriage. You can't have your fiance and think moving on in a marriage is going to set you up pretty the way you have it set up today. Clearly, there's some concern and there's some issues, because fiance have already halted the wedding. So that tells me it's bigger to her than moving forward, which is a good point, because you don't want to move forward in a situation that you know is uncomfortable. It's not going to change when you get married. It's going to get worse. So there's some things that I think he needs to address. Even if he chooses at this point, I'm going to talk to my baby, I'm going to deal with my baby mama when it comes to the kids. There's still conversation he needs to have with his current fiance and say, so here's the situation. The kids have a basketball game, and I need to go and pick them up from, baby mama house to drop them off to the basketball game. Because if you come to me spur of the moment, baby, and you tell me, oh, I got to go right quick, I got to go get the kids because baby mama got to do such and such. Guess what's churning in my head? Because one thing about us as women, and I would say this, we're smart creatures and we know how to play the game when we want to play the game to benefit us. So I'm going to say, have a deep, hardcore conversation. If you cannot blend your family together as one, your marriage will fail, because baby mama has too much control now.
So what if it's a point where every time we see one another, it's always drama? You hear the stories that I got a baby mama over here and she's not respecting my wife, or my wife not respecting.
But we grown women, at some point, it has to happen. Whatever the situation is, he needs to figure it out. He's the center person of it all, because two people are fighting for one person. So at some point, if the baby mama has that much control over him, and he's not sharing stuff with his current fiance, then why propose to her? He should have made sure that was laid out. It sounds like to me that that's not an issue of crazy baby mama drama, meaning, or crazy fiance drama. It sounds like to me that he's eating his cake and ice cream too, unfortunately. He's eating it and enjoying it on both ends. And what he's using is, he's using the saying, oh, well, I didn't know. I forgot. What's important to you should be important to him. And if he doesn't understand that this tippet or this big thing is important to you and he's not willing to change it, baby, sit down and rethink it. If he's not willing to do it, I'm telling you, don't move forward in a marriage, because all you're going to do, you're setting your foundation up to crumble. You don't have all the ingredients to lay the best foundation you can, and a strong foundation, you're setting it up to fail. So what's going to happen is, you're going to get married, set your house on this crumble foundation.
Wow.
Baby, that house gonna crash, and you're gonna be left thinking like, I don't understand why. The reason why is because you didn't do the work up front before you decide to walk down the aisle. Walking down the aisle doesn't change it. It's just suppressed, until the house crumbled on top of you and you're forced and there's nothing else you can do.
So would you have a conversation with him and her together?
I would have a conversation with him
first, and then y'all with her?
I would have a conversation with him because here's the thing. He's the main ingredient. He has to carry that information over to his baby mama. And so I would have that conversation to him and say, hey, here's my situation. I wholeheartedly feel like somewhere along the line, one, you either still have feelings for her, two, she still has control, or somebody's playing games.
Why can't it be the insecurities on the fiance?
It can be insecurities on the fiance, but it's difficult enough when you're in a marriage and you have your kids and it's just you and your husband and thereby you and your husband. That's difficult. But to bring in a whole nother set along with the baby mama, I'm going to tell you, me myself, I would have insecurities. I would have insecurities, especially if he's not being honest with me up front and he's not telling me everything that's going on. I think in order for him to kill this is whatever conversation he's having with the baby mama, he needs to have with the current wife, because what they're doing is they're blocking her out. They're blocking the fiance out, but they still co-parenting like they still together. You can't do that when there's a third party. Now, if he was alone and didn't have anybody, yeah, go ahead and do that. But if you got somebody that you fell in love with, you propose to them and want them to be your wife, but you still co-parenting by yourself, then where am I left in the picture?
Wow. So how long should I wait for him to get it together with his baby mama? Should there be a timeline?
I wouldn't wait too long. What I would say is I would have a conversation with him and lay it all out. What I would say is take some time to jot down the things you want to talk to him about. Because sometimes what happens is when you're in a conversation and your emotions are involved, you will forget some things that you need to talk to him about that's important. So list some things that are key. If he's not listening or he's not connecting or he's like, well, I'm not seeing it that way, or he's protecting baby mama,
right?
There should be some red flags in your head. And my response to him would be, I want you to be 100% honest with me. Are you still in love with your baby mama?
But what if baby, I kind of get what you're saying, but maybe he know that baby mama is crazy. Baby mama gonna come slash tires. Baby mama gonna come set the house on fire. So instead of dealing with that drama, he'd rather keep them separate.
But here's what he's doing though. He's allowing baby mama to control his destiny. And so what's going to happen is if he don't fix the situation with baby crazy mama, what's going to happen is he going to lose his current fiance, and baby mama going to still be playing the same game and find her somebody else to make him look like a fool. So he needs to figure it out, stand up, put his big boy pants on, and figure something out. Because if you're trying to blend families, you have to blend it right, because if you don't blend it right, the parenting skills, if they're different, the rules are different. If all of those things are different, I'm telling you, you are setting yourself up for a disaster and a heartache in the long run. So you have to make sure. It's even more imperative for you to do it with a blending family than if it's me and my husband who have kids. Because now what you're doing is you're adding a third situation to the equation, and so you want to make sure that's clear and out of the way. But it sounds like to me baby mama haven't let loose just yet.
Okay, so now we're gonna take it on another part of blended families. So say that's the fiance with the baby mama and the drama. So talk about blended families far as, I'll say, like, I have a child. Can I use you as an example?
Absolutely.
So you have an older child by somebody else, and then you married your husband. And now you have kids by your husband.
Correct.
And so now it's not in a part that you have a third person, but just blending it with your current husband and the child. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
So how could you talk to a woman or a man that's saying, hey, I'm married to a person who is bringing kids from a previous relationship, and and even on the terms of I have kids, they have kids, and now we're coming together to blend that. Where do the you draw the lines as for both other parents that's outside, like the the father, outside that respect line for you and your husband to blend?
I think it needs to go back to the fact that she needs to have a conversation with the fiance currently. Have that conversation with the fiance and lay it out. Because here's the thing. they need to create their foundation for them. Yes, the baby mom is in the background, but they need to create that foundation. And then at some point, the baby mama, the fiance, the husband, the kids need to meet.
Right.
And they need to know their rules and regulations, because if mom is having one rules at her house and dad's having another rule with him and his fiance at their house, that's going to cause animosity. And sometimes what happens is kids will start to act out, and kids will cause a marriage or a relationship to crumble as well, because one, they could be fighting at the fact that they don't want their dad to move on with somebody else when mama is still here. They don't know the hurt, they don't know the pain, they don't know the struggle that the two went together, and it may not be meant to be for baby mama and daddy to move forward. But they could destroy the foundation currently,
right,
unless these things are addressed. I don't care how you charter the waters. I don't care how you crumble the cookie. A conversation has to happen, and I feel that conversation needs to start off with the fiance. And then that fiance needs to come up with an action plan of how we gonna address this.
Well, what if I say like you and Uncle Mike, we are married, we already married.
Yep.
So now we're blending our kids together.
Correct.
So how do you talk to a couple that's already married, and now I gotta blend my 3 kids from my previous relationship? You know, blended families. My 3 kids from my previous marriage.
Yep.
His 6 kids from his previous marriage, and now we're blending them together and put it and have a foundation to speak to the outside parents, is what I'm saying.
That piece is really hard, because if you're already currently married and you're blending a family and you didn't have a conversation to set that foundation up, to allow the ingredients, all the ingredients to build the best foundation and the strongest foundation you can have, it's a struggle. Because now what's happening is you might have kids that's causing problems. You might have the baby mama that's causing problems. But you set yourself up from the beginning,
right,
to get to this point where your foundation is crumbling. You have to find something to hold on to and have some conversation to try and build. Now, I'm not saying all hope is lost.
Right.
Once you're married and you're trying to blend the families. But you still need to go back to square one to fix those ingredients that are missing, have that conversation, and then move from there.
Okay.
But you have to.
This is one too. Talk to the mother who's married, who don't allow the other parent to parent the kids because of, these my set of kids, these your set of kids, and I'm a parent my set of kids, but we're a blended family. You're
not a blended family though, because if you're telling me your kids can come to my house, but if they doing something wrong, I can't tell them nothing. Girl, bye. Then keep your kids at your house, and your kids ain't eating my food if you feel that way. But I'm saying, what I would say is, you have to have, because let me tell you something. There's no way I could have 3-4 kids from a different relationship. My husband have 3-4 kids from a different relationship, and we married, and now we trying to blend them all together. You talking about a tug of war? Because here's the thing: what if the kids don't get along? But had you took the time to set that foundation up front, you would have addressed some of those things, and maybe you guys wouldn't be in the place you are. Because if you don't, what happens is the baby mom and the kids control your destiny. You allow them to control, because kids know what buttons to push. Baby mama know what button to push and what they need to do. So that's why it's important to have that communication, have that conversation, and then, say to your fiance, look, at some point, we grown women and you're a grown man.
Right.
We need to figure this out.
Right.
Because if we don't figure this out, we can't move forward.
Right.
Don't set yourself up for this great big happy thing. Oh, he treats me well, he's doing good, but you still have all this baggage in regards to the blending family, in regards to the kids. You're setting yourself up for miserable. Baby, that gown is going to turn black the next day.
What?
After you walk down that aisle.
So speak to the couples or the people who are in relationship where they like me and my husband have a child together, but he has an outside child that's coming in to the family, and give some pointers on how I can blend. Because you know, you have most fathers and mothers, they might have an outside child, and they're not staying together, but at some point we are co-parenting. So give some advice to people who are in that situation.
I'm going to say this about, you know, I hear this a lot, and I'm just going to say this. I hear this a lot mostly from women. I don't have to allow my child, you know, the respect, you know, to, you know, see them, or I don't, you know, have to allow the respect for my child to be in their space.
Oh, wow.
What I'm going to say to you is, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for misery, but you're also setting your kid up for misery. And so you have to, at some point, become an adult and say, you know what? It happened. I can't change it. It's still their brother, sister, whatever. You know, we have to come to an agreement and make a decision. If the decision is not made, then that means that fiance is not willing to let go baby mama. Because this conversation is very simple to me. You asked me to marry you. I said yes. Now we're charting some waters that we need to address, because you laying a lot of insecurities on me. And I'm a strong woman, baby. But you laying some insecurities on me. I'm rethinking me. And so it's unfair to the fiance to do it to his fiance. It's unfair because baby mama has that control, and until baby mama can let go of that control, or the fiance is gaining something from what baby mama is doing. So I'm going to say, have that conversation, lay it out there. Wait. I'm not going to say run and, you know, move forward right away. Wait and see if there's change. If he's willing to change, if he's willing to try something, and baby mama is not willing to do it, and you're going to know that, then what you guys have to do is build the greatest foundation you can to not allow her to destroy that foundation.
But sometimes, you know, sometimes women can have their trust insecurity and make a mountain bigger than what it really is. Because of the, no, I'm just saying, because of the insecurity. She could be like, well, why you going to bring your son some Pampers, and his son need Pampers? And it could be her insecurity. I will tell you this.
One thing I will tell people is, usually when you have a gut feeling, your gut feeling usually is on point. Not all the way. You might not have all the details there. You might not have all the details. But something may be wrong. If I'm having this feeling in regards to the letter that was sent to me, then I already know something's not right. That means to me, he's shown me some behavior. How you go pick your kids up and she call you back 5 minutes later talking about you done forgot something?
He could have forgot the baby bottle.
I wish you would. We going to Walmart. We gonna buy a bottle.
No, she could have been like, well, I want to catch him before.
It doesn't.
It could be.
I get that, 1 or 2, but when it's happening often and it's enough for me to notice, that tells me it's not 1 or 2.
Sometimes women.
So I'm gonna say we can go overboard, but I'm gonna say it sounds like to me in this situation that baby mama still has control over your fiance. And until he can address it, the fact that he's coming back to you and giving you an answer, and that answer is, well, oh, I forgot. Don't play with me. You ain't forget. You didn't forget. So I'm going to say, at the end of the day, we have insecurities, just like men have insecurities, but I'm going to say I just feel right on point that something's not right with fiance.
Well, we have about 2 minutes left of this post, and so I'm just going to recap some of the things you said. So if I'm in a blended family and I'm feeling some type of way of the situation that has been laid down between the baby mother and my, you know, fiance, I need to have a conversation with my fiance, and we need to set some foundational things. And so I think that should be the foremost important thing is communication.
It is. You have
to lay down what's respectable and what's not respectable, and the boundaries.
One other thing to add with that is, moving into a marriage, if you don't have that communication piece right now and he's not willing to share everything, then you did exactly right to halt it. You need to have that conversation, because if you don't build that communication between you guys before you walk down the aisle, it's going to get worse as you get married.
Right. So we want to make sure you guys this is a lot. You know, blended family is the new norm.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you have to be willing to give and take.
Right.
Because some of the things that you may want to change when they're at your house, baby mama may not choose that, or vice versa. So it has to be a give and take, and you can't be so far out to, you know, expect things. You just have to be willing to work on it. And if she's willing to work, if baby mom is willing to work, and you're willing to work, and he's willing to connect you guys and communicate, right, I think you can make a great, I mean, there's a ton of people out here with blended families and do great at it, yes, but you have to build that communication.
I know a lot of them. And so we go ahead and send love, you guys. We're going to go ahead and, you know, shout her out, send some love, share the post. Make sure you subscribe to her Auntee Nella's YouTube page. Get her t-shirts. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break for After Dark. The topic on After Dark is toys or not. What else? And low sex drive. But I'm going to say this before we close, because you know this is burning on my heart.
Yep.
For the people, because I've been getting this a lot of comments that are saying that this is something that shouldn't be discussed. This is something because of who I am and who I believe in, which I love God, and He's in my heart, that this is something that shouldn't be discussed in the After Dark post, or you shouldn't, these are topics that you shouldn't bring up. To the people,
taboo.
It is really taboo. And you know what? I'm going to hold it there, because what we're going to do, we're going to save this piece before you go into your toys thing, because a lot of people tune into the After Dark, then they tune into this. So give us about 2 minutes.
Let's just say this. So just in case some of these people do not choose into that, go to the After Dark. If the thing I constantly talk about on here is, it's important for you to have a complete marriage. Sex is important. And so if I don't understand where the taboo comes when it comes to sex and being a Christian and walking that walk. You married your husband through better for worse. If you don't take the time to put in the work with your husband, somebody else will. And so if I don't talk about it, somebody else gonna talk about it. So I'm gonna say to you is, it sounds like you may be traditional and you may not be ready to move past that stage. Anything I'm talking about or we're talking about has nothing to do with not, you know, agreeable in the Bible, or I shouldn't be talking about this, or that's your personal feeling, and you have the right to feel that way. But know this, when it comes to most marriages or church, you know, when it comes to church, a lot of marriages fail because of this one thing. People think because I'm a Christian, I'm pure, there's some things I shouldn't do. If you're a Christian and you read the Bible says your bedroom is undefilable. So I don't understand what the problem is. I'm in on that.
So we're gonna repeat the same thing in After Dark before she go on her topics. We will be back live in 2 minutes. Go get your coffee, go get your chips, go get your bowl of cereal, go get your meow t-shirt, and give us, because she's always ready to do these posts. The post in After Dark, she's like, I don't even want to do the real. I want to go straight into After Dark.
Let me say one more quick thing. Sorry about that. I apologize. But I have to say this.
Let's go.
I have to say this really quick, just in case somebody don't go to the After Dark. One reason why I chose to do this is if I could save one marriage, if I could save one relationship, this is the reason why I'm doing it. It has nothing to do with we're out to get. It's all about if I could save one marriage. I'm glad that my mom was as open with me as I am with you guys, and so that's all I'm gonna say. I just want to be able to say one marriage, one relationship, educate some people, to do some things, to keep your husband so them thoughts won't take them. That's what I'm just trying to do.
All right, guys, we'll see you after dark. Bye-bye.